A young woman forced into marriage prays for freedom, but what happens next will shock you. She collapses alone in a foreign hospital and discovers a truth that changes her life forever. Stay till the end to see how love, sacrifice, and faith can rewrite destiny. Welcome to Your Path to Peace. Before we begin, drop your country and time in the comments. I was returning after performing a sacred visit when tears would not stop falling from my eyes. I had prayed with all my heart and begged God to remove the darkness from my life and end the long chain of pain I had been carrying for years. I was only 22 years old, but my heart felt exhausted. I was married to a man who was 80 years old, and living with him felt like a burden I could no longer carry. I had tolerated this life silently for years, but my strength was gone. I did not want to spend my youth trapped in a marriage that felt more like survival than life. As I walked back with Fazal under the burning sun, the heat became unbearable. We were walking fast because the hotel was close and we thought we would reach quickly. But suddenly my head started spinning badly. My vision blurred. My legs felt weak and darkness covered my eyes. I collapsed on the road and lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was lying on a hospital bed in a place I did not recognize. The room felt strange. The people felt unfamiliar. I soon realized I was in a foreign country in a city where I could not understand the language. My heart started racing when I noticed I was completely alone. Fazal was not there. I tried to speak to the nurses, but they spoke Arabic, and I could not understand a single word. Fear wrapped around my chest, and I felt helpless. Every time someone spoke to me, I stayed silent, lowered my eyes and cried. I had come to God's house with hope, but I never imagined I would be left so broken and alone. I was not well educated, and I did not have the courage to handle such a situation. My entire life I had depended on others, and now I was trapped in a place where I had no one. My soul felt heavy as if it wanted to leave my body. I kept thinking about the future, and fear slowly suffocated me. I prayed, silently asking God to make things easy and guide me through this darkness. I kept wondering what would happen if Fazal did not find me. Where would I go? Who would help me? How would I survive alone in a land I did not understand? My whole life had been full of hardship, and when I came for this journey, I truly believed something good would finally happen. But instead, another test was waiting for me. I kept asking myself what sin I had committed that every stage of my life brought another trial. There was no news of Fazal, and my helplessness grew with every passing moment. I whispered through tears, God, please reunite me with my husband. I am completely broken. I have no one here but you. While I was lost in fear and prayer, an Arab doctor came near my bed. He noticed my tears and gently spoke to me in Urdu, asking if I was okay and why I was crying. Hearing my language from a stranger shocked me, and I broke down. I told him everything: how I collapsed from the heat, how I woke up in the hospital, and how I did not know where my husband was. I told him I had no passport, no hotel address, no belongings, and no way to contact anyone. I folded my hands and begged him to help me find my husband, because that was all I wanted. He listened calmly and reassured me that if my husband had brought me here, he would return. He said maybe Fazal had gone for something urgent and told me to rest. He instructed the nurses to take care of me and promised to return in the evening if there was no news. His words gave me some comfort, but my heart remained restless. Fazal had never been careless. From the first day of marriage, he took care of every small need. It was me who never accepted him as a husband because of the huge age difference. I was young and he was old, and I had always prayed to escape this marriage. But now, lying alone in a foreign hospital, I realized how dependent I was on him. The man I wanted to escape now felt like my only protection. Hours passed, afternoon turned into evening, but Fazal did not come. When the doctor returned, he saw my face and understood. I told him there was still no sign of my husband, and although my health was improving, I could not stay in the hospital forever. After thinking, he suggested I come to his home. He said he would take responsibility for me and try to find my husband. Hearing this made me anxious because he was a stranger, but I had no other option. I did not even remember the name of my hotel and felt ashamed. The doctor informed the hospital staff to contact him if my husband came, then he took me to his house. His home was large and beautiful. He showed me a room and told me not to worry and that I was his guest. That night I trusted his words, but my heart cried silently. Yesterday I prayed to be free from my husband. Today I was praying to meet him again. Fate felt cruel and confusing. I stood before God and begged for guidance, not knowing that what was coming next would change my life forever. That night at the doctor's house, sleep did not come to my eyes. My body was resting, but my mind was drowning in fear and questions. I kept thinking about Fazal again and again, wondering where he was and why he had not come for me. For years I had prayed to be free from him, and now the thought of losing him felt unbearable. Fate was playing a strange game with my heart. As I lay there, memories from my past began to surface one by one, memories I had tried to bury deep inside. I was only 15 years old when my mother passed away. That day, my life changed forever. With her death, I lost the only person who truly understood me. After that, my father became distant. He started believing rumors spread by others that I had relationships with boys. These lies poisoned his heart against me. I cried, begged, and tried to explain that none of it was true, but he trusted his sister more than his own daughter. My aunt wanted me gone. She wanted her daughter's future secured, and her eyes were on my father's property. One day, they trapped me, accused me falsely, and destroyed my character. Despite my tears, my father did not listen, and as punishment, he forced me into marriage with an old man. That was the day my childhood ended. I became the bride of a man who was 75 years old. Faisal believed I had married him willingly, but on the wedding night when I refused him, he understood the truth. He was a good man. He never forced me. He respected my pain and my silence. We lived together not as husband and wife, but as two lonely souls bound by fate. He gave me comfort, security, and a royal life, but my heart was empty. I wanted freedom, not luxury. I prayed day and night for escape. Even after 5 years, nothing changed. Then Fazal told me he wanted to perform Hajj and take me with him. I was happy. I believed God would finally answer my prayers there. I never imagined that this journey would separate us in such a painful way. 5 days passed at the doctor's house. He treated me well, but my heart remained uneasy. One evening while he was away, something inside me pushed me to explore the house. As I walked quietly, I reached a locked storage room. The door was slightly open. When I looked inside, what I saw shook me deeply. Before I could understand or react, the doctor appeared behind me. His face turned pale. He quickly brought me back to my room and locked the door. Then he placed my small bag on the table, the same bag I had brought from Pakistan. He opened it and took out a letter. My hands trembled as he gave it to me. It was from Fazal. As I read the words, tears streamed down my face. Fazal wrote that he was sorry. He wrote that he had divorced me to free me from a life I never chose. He admitted that my unconsciousness was caused intentionally so that he could leave me safely without breaking my heart face to face. He explained that the doctor was his friend's son and that he had trusted him to take care of me. He wrote that he wished me happiness and even suggested that I marry Dr. Masbia and start a new life. He ended the letter by saying that some people are meant to sacrifice their own happiness for others and that he would always pray for me. My entire body shook as I read those words. The man I wanted to escape had given me freedom at the cost of his own heart. Fazal had already left the country. He had vanished from my life forever. Dr. Masbah then spoke softly and told me that he had feelings for me. He said he wanted to marry me and protect me. At that moment, everything felt unreal. My prayers had been answered, but in a way I never expected. I cried for Fazal and I cried for myself. Time passed slowly, and after deep thought, prayer, and fear, I accepted what fate had written. Today it has been 2 years since my marriage to Misbah. We live a peaceful life in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes Fazal calls Misbah and I hear about his well-being. I have no relationship with my parents anymore, but I pray for Fazal every day because people like him are rare people who sacrifice their own happiness so others can live freely. I often ask myself, was it right for him to divorce me this way? He could have told me directly, but maybe he did not have the courage, or maybe he loved me too much to see me suffer. This is my true story. If this story touched your heart, remember sometimes what feels like loss is actually freedom written by God in disguise.